Hello everyone, welcome to the Web3 Sales Gym. Today we're meeting with beautiful Cara, the customer success lead at the Conduit. Cara, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, one sentence about you. We're super interesting to learn. Tell us about yourself, please.
Yeah, so I'm the customer success lead at Conduit. Before that, in my Web3 journey, I was a business development manager at Wallet Connect, but now is Rion. And before that, for 2 years, I was at Fireblocks doing account management, which I was segued into from my Web2 world, doing account management at a company called Cloudflare, which is a large SaaS provider. They do like cybersecurity stuff. So that's kind of how I've gotten to where I am now.
Very cool experience. I always end with the people where you have been able to test the water in the Web2 and then you go to the Web3 because you kind of seen the both worlds, and this is the best fit because you go for the Web3, I guess, for the passion, and then the Web2 gives you the structure and the way that like all the best people that I've been working with, they had a very strong background in the Web2 and then they came to the Web3 for the soul, for the passion, for everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And everything I learned in Web2 helped me work for smaller teams in Web3 and build the processes that I learned working in like the large Web2 corporate worlds. Sometimes they miss like the structure and like the calmness of Web2, but there's nothing like the chaos in Web3.
Awesome. So can you please tell me more about the customer success world? We have a great customer success team in our company, and I was always wondering to look at the world with the eyes of the customer success person. So if you can tell us and the viewers and me, what would you think is the end result of the work of the customer success representative, of the customer success professional?
Sure. Well, it definitely varies company to company. But one of the biggest things about customer success is owning the customer relationship, anything post-sales. Sometimes for very strategic accounts, it can be a little bit at the end of the pre-sale process, but really the customer success person should come in and help the customer with any onboarding and then ongoing support and then sales opportunities moving forward. So the end results of like the customer success person should be somebody who can be the go-to trusted advisor for the customer. Even though the customer success person might not be a technical resource, they know that they can go to that person and get any questions answered, or that the customer success person can fight for them internally, or can get them on a call with the right people. So the end result really would be like that the customer knows and can trust the customer success person to support the customer.
And get things done, right?
Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
Or like you're a project manager, you're a salesperson, you're the first line of support, you're all of those things.
And what would you say, like, how do you actually know if the customer success is the right career path for you? So think about the person that's gonna listen to this. What kind of questions or how they should approach thinking whether the customer success career path is going to be the right for them? What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I started my career as a BDR and then moved myself into upsell and expansion, and then went back to being like a BD type person last year. And then when I was finishing my role at Rion, I was really thinking about what was important to me and what I really wanted to do long term. And I realized that like the aspects of the sales jobs that I've had, what I've really liked is being part of that ongoing customer journey. So really being there for the full life cycle of the customer.
Yep.
I'm not somebody who wants to be very transactional. So I don't want to just sign the deal and disappear. I want the customer to know that I'm there for them all the time, and that if they need anything, that I will, be there for them. I don't mind like making sure that they're taken care of like after hours, or, that if they want to build something with the company I work for, like, hey, we can work together and we will make a solution happen for you. So it's less transactional, more of like, how can you be an internal champion and trusted advisor for a customer? But that also means like you're willing to foster more long-term growth opportunities. And then typically you're talking to the same customers all the time. It's still customer facing role. So you are very much like not just an internal player. but you're not constantly always having these like new business conversations. You're really kind of like sticking to your core network.
And the big value of Web3 is that you get to build the network, and then as you're moving and progressing from company to company in your experience, the network is usually what gets you either the best opportunities or the good word of mouth. And it's important to invest into the network at the same time, like have a big network and also have a quality network. It's not just about the amount of people that you know, it's about the connection that you have with them and what they want and willing to do for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And your network is your net worth. And a customer's experience with a company is largely based on the experience they're having with their customer success or account manager.
Sure.
So you are like the face of that company for this customer. And if you're providing a bad experience for them, then they're going to think badly on the company you work for, but also they may not follow you to your next company. I've had a lot of customers from my days at Fireblocks that continue to follow me where I go because they like working with me and they know that I'm going to support them as long as the business I'm working for is also,
makes sense.
Support it. Like there's like a large range of customers of somebody like Fireblocks, and they didn't always translate to Reown or Conduit. But the ones that have like, they're still in touch with me and I still make sure I see them at conferences.
Yep, for sure. Very interesting. What do you think people often miss about when they're thinking about the customer success, whether before joining and choosing this as the career path for themselves, or in general, what do you think is the part of the customer success that's important but a lot of people miss?
Yeah. So a few things there. Customer success can vary from company to company. So one thing to look out for, like especially in the hiring process, is asking, is this a technical role or is it not? And then what is like how does the upsell expansion sales path operate? So for me, I really wanted to continue being more sales driven and do upsell and expansion. So sometimes you see that in an account manager role. But it's also very intertwined with customer success. So making sure that was still part of my roles and responsibilities at Conduit was important to me. And then also that I'm not a technical person. So if they're really looking for somebody to be doing a lot of the like technical like implementation stuff, like I wouldn't be like the right fit for that. So really like understanding the job description and speaking with the company is like, what are the expectations for this role are important. And I think what often gets overlooked is people really think that the original salesperson is, driving and going to continue the whole customer relationship, but they largely disappear after the contract is signed. So I think it's, understanding that like you are going to be the point of contact for this customer, and then you will become, the relationship. I think what's often overlooked in the leadership side is the importance of customer success. I think oftentimes, this not Fireblocks days is like the account management team because they thought, oh, the salespeople can handle it. But it really impacts the customer experience. If the customer can't touch with their point of contact because they're just really focused on sales and what's happening with this business, create a really bad experience for the customer.
Sure, I agree. And maybe that was partly like the Web2 thinking. So the bigger the company becomes, the more enterprise-ish and more Web2-ish kind of people the company is hiring. Did you see any differences between the way that people do customer success in Web2, both in Web3? I know maybe like your Web2 was in the customer success, it wasn't so broad, but I'm just curious, what's usually the thing that is different between how do customer success in Web2 and how people do customer success in Web3? Maybe it's, I don't know, just that people in Web3 expect the customer person to be online all the time, except in their sleeps, or things like that. Do you have anything that you can share with the viewers as well?
That's exactly it. So Web2 is largely like an email-based relationship. And also it's very much online. And so what we have in Web3, which I think this tracks across multiple different areas in Web3, is we are, as much as it is about decentralization and like, anybody can be a part of it no matter where you are in the world. The business side of Web3 is very much in person. So you are really going to conferences, you are seeing your customers, you're taking them to lunch, and you're really showing them a great experience, like on and off, the Slack. It is also very much high touch. So while previously it's like more, email based in Web2, you are on Telegram, you are on Slack. These customers do expect answers any time of the day. Web3 is chaotic. Sometimes, there's something collapses. And there is like a need for the customers to feel like you're online all of the time.
Yep.
So while balancing your personal life and your mental health, it is very important to really like at least be high touch with your customers.
Be there when they need you. Would you say that this is one of the traits of a good customer success person? Like, what would you say are the top three things that customer success people do, or what kind of people they are? Maybe some personal traits that they possess that help them be better in their jobs.
Yeah, definitely like some form of emotional intelligence, being able to read your customer, to understand if they're upset and are unhappy, and being able to work with them to repair that relationship. The other part of that would be tying back to, what the differences are between Web2 and Web3 is that strong communication skills. So, being very transparent, being very upfront, but also, being willing to fight for your customer internally, being able to digest what your customer is asking and get them the right answers or get them to the right teams. And just really like, even if it's something that you can't do, as long as you're communicating strongly and you make the customer aware that like you've done your best and you tried to support them with this, can go a long way versus, being more like uncommunicative. So really like over communicative, I think is the best trait you can have.
Yeah.
And then the last one would be having that champion mentality, fighting for contract changes for your customer, fighting for, building products together, partnership opportunities, etc. That can really set you apart in a customer success role.
Well, I would love to have that people like that, like everywhere, like in all the teams. So if you are really understanding what your customer is saying, you feel them, you understand the pain, then you can communicate the pain both to the customer and to your team. And then if you have the best interest and strategic growth in mind, like I think this is the three traits that can get you really in any field. Like if whatever you're doing, if you do, imagine the salesperson, the salesperson that does all of that. That's like the best sales guy in the world. And
then the last thing would be like, if you're a little bit technical, not fully technical, but if you can go in the docs and find an answer for a customer, even if it's just from memory of customers asking all the time, that'll win you a lot of kudos internally with like your DevRel and solutions
engineers
engineering
will be
team.
so happy.
Yeah.
Yes, because you don't have to ping them all the time.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So getting to that point also, it might take a little bit longer, but that's another skill that's good to learn.
Well, it was 5 questions to, in this case, Web3 CS person. Thank you so much for sharing the insights with us, Cara. Definitely everyone who's watching this to this point, check out the Cara's website and also check out Conduit, because you've seen what kind of people work at Conduit, and Cara is managing the whole team, so everybody in the team is like Cara. So if you want to work with one of the best customer success teams in Web3, definitely check out Conduit. And if you have anything that you want to say in the end of the episode, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Nothing else, but feel free to find me on LinkedIn or email, and happy to answer any questions.
Sure. I will leave all your links below. Thank you so much, and enjoy your day. See you in the next episodes of the Web3 Sales Gym.
Bye.
Bye bye.